Most men think women are complicated, mysterious, impossible to understand. But here's the secret. They're not. Women are insanely attracted to men who understand a few simple truths about psychology, confidence, and power. The problem? Most men never learn them. They chase too hard, they overshare, they beg for attention, and then wonder why she loses interest. But the rare man, the one who knows these secrets, doesn't have to chase. Women chase him. And today, I'm going to reveal the hidden traits women crave most. Once you understand these, you'll stop asking why she's not interested and start realizing why she can't stop thinking about you. 1. Women can't resist men who don't beg for their attention. Here's the paradox of attraction. The harder most men try to get a woman's attention, the less they get it. But the man who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't orbit her like the sun around the earth, that's the man who burns in her mind. Why? Because attention is currency. The moment you hand it out for free, it loses value. Women are surrounded by men desperate for their time. Endless likes on Instagram, comments, messages, stares in public. To her, that flood of attention means nothing. But the one man who doesn't hand it out so easily, he's different. He's rare. And rarity creates desire. Psychologists call this scarcity principle. Humans desire what they can't easily access. The Stoic man embodies this without games. His life is full, his mission is central, his energy is disciplined. So when he does give a woman attention, it means something. It's deliberate, not desperate. Most men don't understand this. They think if they chase harder, more texts, more compliments, more effort, she'll finally see their value. But the opposite happens. A man who overgives without her earning it doesn't look generous. He looks replaceable. The Stoic man flips the script. He doesn't starve her of attention, but he measures it. He rewards loyalty, effort, and depth. His attention becomes scarce, and because of that, it becomes addictive. Here's the truth. Women don't fall for men who hand them the world on a silver platter. They fall for the man whose world is already complete and who chooses to let her into it. 2. Women crave men who master their emotions. Strength isn't just about muscles, money, or power. It's about control. And in relationships, the rarest strength a man can have is emotional mastery. Most men crumble when faced with a woman's storms. She tests him, pushes his buttons, triggers his insecurities, and he reacts. He yells, sulks, over-explains, or collapses into begging. In that moment, he proves her fear. He's not strong enough to handle her at her worst. But the man who remains calm, unshaken, and composed, that man is unforgettable because he represents safety, not the fake comfort of agreeing with everything, she says, but the real safety of knowing that when chaos hits, he will not fold. Psychologists describe this as emotional regulation. It's the ability to manage your own state regardless of external pressure. And here's the secret. Women are wired to test for it. Not consciously, not maliciously, but instinctively. She needs to know whether your frame is strong enough to hold hers. When she sees you keep your composure in the face of her fire, her attraction spikes. It's primal. She feels that you're not controlled by emotions, but master of them. And that mastery makes her trust you, respect you, and crave you. The Stoic man doesn't avoid emotion. He commands it. He allows himself to feel, but never lets feelings dictate his choices. That balance makes him magnetic, because in a world of men who break at the first sign of resistance, he is unbreakable. Here's the paradox. The less your emotions control you, the more her emotions will revolve around you. 3. Women fall for men who walk their own path. The deepest secret of female psychology is this. Women are irresistibly drawn to men who live for something greater than them. Most men lose themselves the moment they get a woman's attention. They sacrifice their goals, neglect their purpose, and re-enter their entire life around her. At first, she feels flattered, but over time she feels something else. Boredom. Because no woman wants to be a man's mission. She wants to be claimed by a man who already has one. Psychologists call this self-determination. Humans respect and desire those who live with autonomy, who pursue their own path regardless of external validation. And women feel this instinct even more strongly. A man on his path is harder to control, harder to distract, harder to replace. That difficulty becomes irresistible. The Stoic man embodies this fully. His time is valuable, his goals come first, and his life is a story she wants to be part of, not the story she controls. When she sees that, she chases because deep down every woman knows that the man with a mission is the man worth following. Here's the brutal truth. When you abandon your mission for a woman, you don't prove love, you prove weakness. And weakness is never attractive. But when you stay on your path, strong, disciplined, unwavering, you don't have to beg for her devotion. She offers it freely because she knows she's in the presence of a man rare enough to lead himself and rare enough to lead her too. 4. Women are drawn to men who speak with authority. Words are cheap when they're scattered, nervous, or unsure. Most men talk to women in a way that begs for approval. Soft tones, endless filler, over-explaining, nervous laughter. But women are not attracted to words. They're attracted to the weight behind words. A man who speaks with authority doesn't need to raise his voice. His tone is calm, steady, deliberate. His pauses carry more impact than another man's rambling. He doesn't rush to fill silence. He owns it. And women feel this. They feel the gravity in his speech, the conviction that he means what he says. The quiet confidence that doesn't ask to be believed, it demands it. Psychologists call this paraverbal dominance. It's not what you say, but how you say it that communicates power. Studies show that deep, calm, measured speech patterns are universally linked to authority and competence. And authority is magnetic. The Stoic man masters this. He doesn't waste words. He doesn't try to convince with volume. He convinces with presence. Even in disagreement, his voice is steady. Even when challenged, his tone never betrays desperation. And because of this, his words carry 10 times more weight. Here's the paradox. Women hear compliments all day, but they rarely believe them. Yet, when a man who speaks with authority says, "I like the way you carry yourself," she feels it in her bones. Why? Because authority in voice signals authority in life, and that is irresistible. 5. Women crave men who can walk away. One of the deepest triggers of female attraction isn't how much you can give, it's how much you can withhold, specifically your ability to walk away. Most men live in fear of loss. They bend, compromise, and betray themselves just to keep a woman. They think if they give her everything, she'll stay. But women don't respect men who can't leave. Because if you can't walk away, you have no power. And if you have no power, she can't fully desire you. Psychologists describe this as scarcity leverage. When something can't be easily controlled, it gains value. The man who stays no matter what loses his leverage. The man who could leave at any moment yet chooses to stay, that man is priceless. The Stoic man knows this. He doesn't threaten to walk away. He simply lives in such a way that he could. His mission, his discipline, his independence mean he never clings. If she crosses a boundary, he doesn't argue. He doesn't beg. He detaches. And that detachment, far from pushing her away, pulls her in. Here's the truth. The ability to walk away is not about cruelty. It's about strength. It shows her that your love is a choice, not a dependence. And nothing attracts a woman more than knowing a man wants her but doesn't need her. 6. Women can't resist men who control their space. Attraction isn't just about what you say or do. It's about the energy you command in the space you occupy. Walk into a room nervous, shoulders slouched, scanning for approval, and she feels nothing. Walk into a room with grounded posture, calm eyes, and unshaken presence, and she feels everything before you've even spoken. Psychologists call this spatial dominance. Humans instinctively sense hierarchy through body language, posture, and movement. A man who controls his space, who sits with calm confidence, who walks with deliberate pace, who looks people in the eye without flinching, signals strength on a primal level. And women are wired to respond. The Stoic man embodies this naturally. He doesn't rush, he doesn't fidget, he doesn't need to announce his presence. His energy does it for him. In conversation, he doesn't lean in desperately. He lets her lean toward him. In groups, he doesn't fight for attention. Attention gravitates toward him. Here's the paradox. Women are not always attracted to the loudest man in the room, but they are always drawn to the one who owns the room without effort. Because control of space is control of self, and self-mastery is the ultimate magnet. If you're ready to learn the psychology women will never admit out loud but live by every single day, hit that subscribe button right now and drop the word power in the comments. If you're ready to become the man women chase instead of the man who's always chasing them. Because once you understand these truths, you'll never look at attraction the same way again.